For an increasing number of nations around the world, illegal immigration has turned into a crisis, and governments don't seem to know how to handle it. Countries that are the final destination for migrants are dealing with unprecedented numbers of unauthorized border crossings, unauthorized landings on their shores, thousands of visa overstayers, and millions of people living illegitimately inside their borders. We'll have a look at 7 times when the cops caught illegal immigrants red-handed. Make sure you watch the video to the end so that you don't miss out on anything. Illegal immigration is seen as a threat to national sovereignty in many countries. It is thought to compromise cultural integrity. Public finances are also being drained by illegal immigration. The ongoing illegal immigration to nations' borders and shores has been referred to as an invasion, a battle situation, and a security threat by some officials and a sizable portion of the populace in those nations. Additionally, some people have urged their governments to send the immigrants straight back. Additionally, illegal immigration threatens regional cooperation, poses a challenge to law enforcement, erodes support for legal immigration, disturbs the political balance, and worsens xenophobia and nativism. Additionally, the rise of far-right political parties in nations like Austria, Denmark, Finland, France, Hungary, Italy, Sweden, and the United States is a reflection of the public's worries about immigration. Now, let's have a look at those 7 times when the illegal immigrants were caught by the cops. Number 1. When El Paso cops caught 2 immigrants. The border city of El Paso was being overrun by thousands of asylum seekers and illegal immigrants who were impatiently trying to enter the country before Title 42 expired in the final days of 2022. According to the Texas Department of Public Safety, a man was tackled by police and taken into custody outside the Sacred Heart Catholic Church after he attempted to elude an officer who was questioning him. The reason the suspect was questioned on whether he was legally in the country was not made clear by El Paso police. After the Supreme Court stopped the continuing health emergency measures expiration, the church had been housing asylum seekers who had been kicked out as a result. State officials reported that a day earlier, a migrant was apprehended for attempting to charge other asylum seekers to board a free warming bus that the city had set up after shelters filled. The alleged scam was discovered as migrants who had been sleeping on the streets sought cover from the chilly 40s and low 50s. Number 2. ICE identified cop killer suspects as illegal immigrants and caught them. 3 Mexican brothers, including one who was apprehended and released at the border under the Trump administration, were all in the country illegally when they were identified as part of an investigation into the shocking killing of a North Carolina sheriff's deputy. In connection with the murder of Wake County Deputy Ned Byrd, Alder Alfonso Marin Sotelo and Arturo Marin Sotelo have been charged with murder. Rolando Marin Sotelo, their younger brother, is charged with possessing a firearm, but not about the deputy's murder. According to U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, all 3 entered illegally. The first time Arturo was caught crossing the border illegally, he was a minor, and he was allowed to go back to Mexico. When he snuck back into the country is unknown to the authorities. Rolando was first apprehended by Border Patrol agents in Arizona in October 2019. Despite being sent back to Mexico, he came back 2 months later. He appeared at a legitimate border crossing in Brownsville, Texas, 1,000 miles to the east. Number 3. Indian cop arrests 6 people over illegal immigration. In the year 2022, 6 people were detained by Indian police as part of a crackdown on illegal immigration after 4 Indians were discovered dead from exposure near the US-Canada border last week, according to officials. The Border Patrol agencies on the other side of the border provided pictures of passports and other belongings. Police in Gujarat claimed they were able to identify the 4, who were members of a single family. In the state capital of Gandhinagar, police officer A.K. Jala stated that they were trying to nab the human traffickers, who managed to send that family and others abroad via illegal channels. The 6 people the police detained were in charge of the state's travel and tourism business, he added. The 4 victims, a man, a woman, a baby, and a teenager, were discovered dead in Manitoba, just a few yards from the Minnesota border. After their bodies were discovered, American authorities charged a Florida man named Steve Shand with human trafficking. Shand received a conditional release from a U.S. court. Number 4. California-based cops arrest illegal immigrants. After a 2-day manhunt in December 2018, a suspected illegal immigrant accused of killing a California police officer was apprehended. President Donald Trump had used the 2-day manhunt as justification for his call to build a wall along the border with Mexico. Mexican national Gustavo Perez Arriaga was detained in Bakersfield, which is less than 200 miles south of Newman, where the officer was shot. Arriaga was accused of shooting to death Newman Police Corporal Sonil Singh, after Singh pulled him over on suspicion of driving under the influence. According to Christensen, who is the suspect who engaged Singh in gunfire, claimed to be a member of the Serenos, a criminal organization, and that he was trying to flee to Mexico. Arriaga walked out of the Bakersfield home with his hands up after heavily armed police officers surrounded it. At least 5 people, including some residents of the Bakersfield home where Arriaga was detained, were detained on suspicion of lying to investigators about Arriaga or assisting him in eluding the law. Number 5. Human smuggler busted with 12 immigrants. On June 2021, after leading police on a fast chase while transporting 12 illegal immigrants, the suspect crashed his SUV in front of a Texas house. Authorities reported that Texas state troopers and U.S. Border Patrol officers joined the 40-minute pursuit of McAllen near the U.S.-Mexico border. The red SUV was seen on the front lawn of the house after smashing through a fence in the dramatic images of the accident shared on Twitter by Fox Los Angeles reporter Bill Malugan. The immigrants were seen sitting on the lawn while it appeared that police were questioning them. It was also reported that although police did not identify the alleged smuggler, however, they did refer the undocumented passengers to Border Patrol for processing. More than 370 incidents of human smuggling have occurred in that area since March 2021, according to state police. The Texas Department of Public Safety did not respond right away when the Post contacted them seeking more details about the incident. Number 6. An illegal African immigration network dismantled in France. The Border Police, PAF, at Roissy-Charles de Gaulle Airport this week dismantled an illegal immigration network from sub-Saharan Africa, according to information provided to AFP by a police source. These individuals entered the country with legitimate French passports. The case started in November 2022, when Border Patrol officers detained a passenger from Mali who was carrying a real passport that was later revealed to not be his. The PAF's police officers later learned of a network that issued foreign nationals with French identity documents, allowing them to enter the country through the front door with only the strictest of controls while crossing the border. To accomplish this, a sector based in the Paris region recruits French immigrants who are willing to lend their identity documents in exchange for a few hundred euros. Strange, isn't it? Following months of investigation, the Border Police detained 7 Malian-origin individuals across Ile-de-France recently. These individuals, who range in age from 24 to 55, were part of the operational network. Number 7. 38,000 illegal immigrants caught by Germany police. According to the German Federal Police, between January and November 2018, more than 38,000 people were apprehended trying to enter Germany illegally. More than 28,000 people crossed the border into Germany by land, with 10,300 of them coming from Austria. In contrast, more than 1,120 people and 9,270 people, respectively, entered the country illegally through seaports and airports. According to police, the actual number of illegal entries was probably higher because the statistics did not take into account the number of people who escaped detention after entering the country. Since German Chancellor Angela Merkel decided to permit nearly 1 million refugees from North Africa and the Middle East to enter the country in mid-2015, lawmakers in Germany have clashed repeatedly over the nation's immigration policy. Since Austria was the main entry point for refugees, the government decided to reinstate border controls along the German-Austrian border in late 2015. In June 2018, the government increased those checks once more. Police scrutiny of identification documents on buses and trains may soon come to an end. Germany's Schengen membership, according to the European Court of Justice, forbids such controls. The judgment needs to be reviewed by Germany's Federal Administrative Court. With this, we come to the end of the video. Do let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.